Delhi, you're watching DD India special broadcast, Article 370, Abrogation in Jammu and Kashmir, Transition from Terror to Transformation. I'm Sakal Bhat. Well, on August 5, 2019, the BJP government at the centre revoked the special status granted to Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 to integrate the region with the rest of the country. 5 years on, the region of Jammu and Kashmir presents a fresh, renewed picture of stability, marked by efforts to foster economic growth, social cohesion and much more. On the special broadcast, we will be examining what has actually changed on the ground in the region of Jammu and Kashmir in these 5 years in particularly the region that has witnessed decades of conflict and scourge of terror. We're talking about Kashmir Valley. And also what makes scrapping of Article 370 important and what has been its palpable impact on ground, if at all. On this broadcast, we would like to tell our viewers that we are joined by very distinguished former top brass from the Indian Army and Jammu Kashmir Police. And they helmed the implementation and operation post-August 5th, the abrogation of Article 370 way back in 2019 and in the years that follow as well. So let's move on and we begin with this report first. 5 years to the day after India abrogated Article 370 of its constitution, the restoration of peace and developmental activities stand out as its most significant achievements in Jammu and Kashmir. And the past 5 years have also seen a remarkable transformation of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. This report brings to you the voice of the people of Kashmir. The real Kashmiris speak on camera. They speak on the change for good induced in their lives post-Article 370 abrogation in the last 5 years. This is the change that they talk about.
मैं मानता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर में एक लंबे रक्तपात भरे युग का अंत धारा 370 के समाप्त होने से हुआ।
Unfolding the remarkable transformation of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, abrogation of Article 370 not only marked endgame of separatism and terrorism in the region, but also a big shift from terror to transformation. Kashmir of India has embraced this change with open arms.
जब से मोदी सरकार की हुकूमत आई है तब से बहुत राहत हमें मिली है। हमें कोई टेंशन नहीं है। जो पिछले 30 सालों में हो रहा था वो सब बदल गए हैं। कोई पथराव नहीं है, कोई हड़ताल नहीं है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has, dedicated to healing the wounds that were afflicted upon Kashmiris, that afflicted the hearts and minds of Kashmiris due to the misguided decisions taken after independence. So I feel that as we embark on the future journey, we expect a similar unwavering approach from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government so that we see a peaceful and prosperous Jammu and Kashmir.
The erstwhile terror and stone pelting infested zones are now bustling with normalcy. Generations privy to the years of terrorism and turmoil speak of semblance of normalcy witnessed in last 5 years.
आज से 5 साल पहले की बात करें, डाउनटाउन में चलना बड़ा मुश्किल था। डाउनटाउन के दुकान वाले बहुत परेशान थे, स्टोन पेल्टिंग होती रहती थी। लेकिन अगर हम आज के दौर की बात करें, डाउनटाउन का हर कोई यूथ अभी अपनी लाइफ को स्मूथली चला रहा है।
There has been a drastic uptick in tourist footfall and trade as well.
I have seen a lot of change in the last 5 years. Before, it was very difficult to do business in Kashmir Valley due to stone pelting, strikes, curfews, and now things has been really changed, and we are thankful to God. And because of the government, they have really taken a good action about those incidents, and we are very thankful to the government of India.
पहले पथराव होता है, कर्फ्यू होता था, टूरिस्ट नहीं आता था। अब इन 5 सालों में बहुत फर्क आ गया है। अभी टूरिस्ट भी बहुत आ रहा है और लोग भी अच्छे कमाई हो रहा है और शिकारा भी सब लोग कमाते हैं, होटल वाले, हाउस बोट वाले सब कमाते हैं।
Local inhabitants of Kashmir also speak of the powerful shift in lives of students, signifying the profound impact on education and its continuity.
4-5 साल से अगर हम देखें तो बहुत ही बेहतरीन रहा है। कुछ कर्फ्यू नहीं है, कोई पत्थरबाजी नहीं है, कोई बच्चा डरता नहीं है। अब अच्छे से स्कूल जाता है, कंटिन्यूसली स्कूल जाता है। कॉलेज अगर देखें तो कंटिन्यूसली ऑन रहते हैं।
Kashmir now thrives on newfound peace and progress, a clear transition from shadows of uncertainty and decades of stagnation characterized by shutdowns. all that is history now.
यहाँ की जो चेंज है वो विजिबल है। जब आप कश्मीर में 5 साल पहले की बात करेंगे, स्ट्राइक्स की आप बात करें, स्टोन पेल्टिंग की बात करें, इवन मिलिटेंसी की बात करें, वो ग्राफ पूरी तरह से जीरो पे आ चुका है।
In a big turnaround of ground situation post-abrogation of Article 370, as per Government of India, there has been 70% decline in total terrorism-related cases, an 81% reduction in civilian deaths, and a 48% decrease in casualties of security forces. The current scenario is a testament to the resilience and transformation of a region that has embraced peace wholeheartedly. Sakal Bhat's report for DD India. And we are joined by Mr. DILBAG Singh, former Director General Police of Jammu and Kashmir. And we must tell our viewers, former DGP in Jammu Kashmir, DILBAG Singh, is an IPS officer who took over the top position in 2018, just a year ahead of the centre's plans to end Jammu Kashmir special status in 2019. In fact, the policing post-August 5th resulted in a dip in street protests with a gradual and steady decline of the stone pelting. In fact, they were completely wiped out, sir. In fact, no civilian casualties were reported in violent protests in Kashmir in the past 4 to 5 years. And I also take this opportunity, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on this special broadcast. And I also take this opportunity to welcome Lieutenant General Kanwaljit Singh Dhillon, former Director General Defence Intelligence Agency. And viewers, when on August 5th, 2019, the central government announced the decision to revoke the special status under Article 370. At that time, Lieutenant General Dhillon served as the DG of 15 Corps Commander of Indian Army. And 40 days before the historic step, Dhillon, sir, you would remember, Union Home Minister Amit Shah and General Dhillon held talks to strategize the abrogation of Article 370 plan, which General Dhillon has actually recalled in his bestseller, Kitne Ghazi Gaye, Kitne Ghazi Aaye. Thank you, sir, very much, Dhillon, sir, for joining us. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, and good evening to all your viewers. And
yes.
Good evening, DILBAG sir, how are you?
Good evening to you. Happy to see you.
DILBAG Singh, sir, I would like to start with you. How do you see these 5 years of this new narrative of Naya Kashmir or New Kashmir, the new template being directly governed by the Delhi through Lieutenant Governor? What are the gains really? Where have we really made steady gains?
See, there's 5 years down the line, if I look at them, they are absolutely new in the history of Jammu and Kashmir. The militancy that we saw for over 30 years almost led to death and destruction in every corner of Jammu and Kashmir. Houses were burned, schools were burned, bridges were burned, government buildings were burned. Every step was taken by Pakistan-sponsored terrorists to disturb the normal peace and the normal life of the people in Jammu and Kashmir.
It was a cycle of destruction and
cycle of destruction. And schools became a tragedy. Boys and girls would not be able to go to school. Employees became captive of the designs of the militants of the Pakistan. Sponsored Bandh calls, people would sit at home during the Bandh calls. Boys and girls would not be able to go to schools and colleges. Business would get affected. But this 5 years post-abrogation is absolutely a new era in the history of Jammu and Kashmir. Starting with 2018, things were pretty bad in terms of militancy and in terms of our operational successes, and the work by police and the security forces during 2018 brought about a sort of scenario wherein such kind of major event of abrogation of Article 370 could be thought of, could take place. And a big decision by the authorities, by the people at the top, and a kind of precise and near perfect execution of the task on the ground by the security forces, Team Security J&K, I would say, and the civilian authorities who were in support of us working behind the scenes. I would say this has totally changed the fate of the place. Now you see that this Lal Chowk that you have been showing on the screen.
Iconic red flag.
Iconic place where the Pakistani flag used to be hoisted by the terrorists. Today you feel pride in seeing Tiranga being hoisted on Lal Chowk all the time. This has become a selfie point. Everyone visiting Kashmir goes there. No closure of schools, no bandh calls, no casualties, no land order, no stone pelting.
Absolutely. Stone pelting is a thing of past. Lieutenant General Dhillon, If you would remember, initially, despite all the reluctance, Dillon sir, and the opposition from certain quarters, and there were misinformation campaigns, spread by some political outfits also. 5 years on, has the government, according to you, the current dispensation or the administration managed to win the hearts and minds of Kashmiris? Is there this renewed sense of confidence?
Good evening once again, and as Mr. DILBAG Singh has very rightly pointed out, the scenario when he was the DGP and I was a co-commander, the scenario when we took over, the situation as described by him was very, very bad. And after the abrogation of Article 370 in the last 5 years, and I will not make statements based on whims and fancies, I'll make statement on facts.
Yes, sir.
There are indicators of peace and there are indicators of violence. Indicators of violence are how many terrorist-initiated incidents, how many terrorists committed atrocities, how many terrorists killed, how many security forces personnel killed, how many civilians killed, how many young boys joined the terrorism tanzeems, and also how many incidents of stone pelting. All these incidents in last 5 years, whether you check month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year, all the incidents of terrorism, the negative indicators are down. The positive indicators like how many days the schools are open, how many tourists have come in, what is the hotel booking, how many flights have come in, what is the occupancy in the flights, how much is the cash dispensation from the ATMs. All these are incidents or indicators of peace. And all the indicators of peace are up, indicators of terrorism are down. Now we have the Audis running there, PVRs running there, which was never imagined.
Unimagined,
So
yes.
peace has come in, and I always say the economics drives the peace.
Yes.
Why I say that is today a sumo chap is earning more, a pony chap is earning more, a shopkeeper is earning more, a handicraft maker is earning more, a shawl maker is earning more, the hotel chap is earning more. Everybody in Kashmir is earning
And they're
more.
openly talking about it also. There is this
They
sense
are
of
openly
acceptance.
talking about it.
Yes.
And the point is, when in my home in the evening, instead of 500 rupees, I'm getting 5,000 rupees. Why would I like to return to those days? If my child, as Mr. DILBAG Singh was saying, all the schools were burned out, when Kashmiri Pandits were pushed out of Valley, the infrastructure of education collapsed. If my child is now going to school every day, there used to be 280 days band kaul or hartal, and school used to remain closed. If my child's future is secured, why wouldn't I like to be having this situation maintained?
Right.
Why would I like to go back? So government is doing everything. This is a consolidation phase going on, and I will not say as a security expert that everything has been wiped out.
We're coming to that part as well.
It is work in progress still.
Yes.
It is work in progress. It will take a little more time.
Yes.
Last phase of counter-terrorism, the consolidation phase, is the most time-consuming and tedious phase.
Okay.
We are passing through that phase,
and
I can vouch for it. We are doing it well, and we are doing it right.
Okay. Counter-terrorism phase, Mr. DILBAG Singh, a bit more on that. And visibly, there are two major gains, as reiterated by Lieutenant General Dillon. Uptick in tourism and uptick in economic activities are two important drivers of change. But what about the other fronts like employment generation? Because stone pelting is certainly a thing of past, but you have to empower them, you have to educate them, you have to keep them busy in something else.
That's right. I think new avenues of employment, as General Dillon said, economic activities up. That means it's not only the government employment which matters. It is employment in the public sector and the people who are self-employed. Now, how many working days they are getting in a year, how much output they are able to put in the market, that everything has gone up. Now, even in terms of youth skill development and youth employment, many programs have been started by Government of India. There have been number of beneficiaries is huge. I, during the period of 5 years, over 5 years, have seen every time a senior dignitary from Government of India would visit Jammu and Kashmir, no visit would go without distributing hundreds of employment orders to our young boys and girls who were given training and skill development and who were given government jobs also. I think with the new industry and impetus to the business, more opportunity, employment opportunities are going to come to our skilled youth. We have got IITs, IIM operating in Jammu and
Nursing
Kashmir, both the regions
also.
now.
There were just one nursing college and more than 100
Yes,
now.
so many nursing colleges have come up, medical colleges have come up, number of seats in the medical colleges for our...
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Now coming to the most critical aspect of the change, General DILLON, this is for you and you can also take it after, this is important because we do know that Union government has initiated the Zero Terror Plan, Lieutenant General DILLON, and it's been now 2 years that the plan was rolled out. What all and how much has been executed of that plan, considering the kind of developments, terror activities that we have seen in the Jammu region, unfortunately, in the past few months, the region which has always been in news for good reasons and peace. Lieutenant General DILLON.
One thing which we have to understand, all of us and our viewers is, unlike other parts of the country, the plains areas, Kashmir experiences extreme weathers or extreme cold for about 5 to 6 months. And that time period from November till about April or so, the construction activities are more or less zero. So any infrastructure development, any construction activity or any development project related to infrastructure does take that much more time in Kashmir for fructification. So that is just one part of it. Second is, the people of Kashmir had seen violence for last 35 years. And they had got used to the band calls and, the total 8 hours or 10 hours of shifts not working. Only the government providing the job opportunities. The private jobs were not there because the private industry was not there, private companies were not there, MNCs were not there. Hence, it is taking time. And the development which is there is, there are 3 types of development plans: the short term, medium term, and the long term. Short term are the low hanging fruits. You make a bus stand here, you put a hand pump there, you give a water supply there. It is the medium term and the long term gestation period development plans which generate employment and which generate public satisfaction.
Over a period of time.
Hence, it is early days. Let's not count them out.
Yes.
All the schemes, there are some thousands of crores of money worth of schemes have been put into place, put into motion. It will take time for these long-term gestation period plans to come on ground and show results. So early days, but still I would say,
work in progress.
The point which Mr. DILBAG Singh was answering about the job creation and the employment opportunities. Now what has happened is in Kashmir over 35 years, since there were no private companies, as I said earlier, the only job the youth was looking for was a government job. Hence, today, the government job may be only 10 to 15%. 85% job creation is done by non-government entities. They may be MNCs, they may be private industries, they may be what. Yeah. So, moment that those entities start operating in Kashmir in a peaceful environment, the job creation will automatically happen. The youth will start understanding that the jobs outside the government departments. So that is a very important awareness which has to come in and which Kashmiris have to understand.
Yes.
Government cannot give job to 100% of people. Self-employment, employment in the private sector is the name of the game today.
Okay.
So development plans, they're very much in place, but the long-term plans will take time.
Okay. And DILBAG Singh sir, human intelligence has always been a big strength. How do you think has this consolidated in the last 5 years? There is also a counter thought to that, part of it has dried up. Is that true? Is that true?
Your part of the question which you posed earlier and which was left unanswered is status of counter-terrorist operations in Jammu region and in Kashmir region both. 5 years, as we said, has been a very, very successful period in terms of counter-terrorist operations against the terrorists and the terror ecosystem which was supported by Pakistan. There is no area which has been left untouched by the security forces and by the civilian authorities. Wherever we found Pak influence in the public and government institutions, we have tried to cut it down, reduce it drastically. Wherever support was coming to the terrorist outfits in the form of OGWs, in the form of various institutional support systems, that has been reduced drastically. And yes, your concern for certain certain kind of activities in Jammu region.
Ji.
That is that is a matter of concern for all of us. I think this is now that we've been seeing Jammu region absolutely peaceful for many years. It has been a very peaceful region. Pakistan has introduced a slight strategic shift in terms of their infiltration strategy and to carry out certain operations and militant operations. And mera khayal ye hai ki we are very well equipped to deal with that. The only thing is that we have to readjust to the emerging scenario in Jammu region. Kashmir region has been by and large handled very well. It has been our experiment there in terms of our security grades and our deployments on the ground has been very good. Local youth, the best part that we can all boast of, and for credit for this goes to public at large and to our young boys who have shunned the path of violence. If you talk of any fresh recruitment into terror ranks, yeah, that has almost come to zero, which is a very, very heartening fact. Intelligence, yes, it's a sort of one area where one has to work continuously and see that our intelligence doesn't dry up. I'm sure people working on the ground would be making efforts to get more and more intelligence to organize counter-terrorist operations. I won't like to comment much on that in this regard.
I got that point, sir. Lieutenant General Dhillon, there used to be the thought that terrorism is sustaining in Kashmir because of the local support. And now there is a certain turnaround of events. If you could just explain the outreach of the government of India and the challenges. It was not easy. When 2019, 5th August happened, there were a lot of apprehensions, there were doubts, understandably so. But how did you deal with that? And what have we achieved after 5 years?
Ma'am, there is no denying the fact, nowhere in the world terrorism can sustain unless there is a local support. The local support in terms of information about the security forces, local support in terms of the OGW network, local support in terms of logistics network, local support in terms of hiding places or hideouts and other things. And of course, I said logistics, the ration, food and other things, and transportation of terrorists and warlike equipment, ammunition, weapons. So there was a local support, there was a radicalization, and there was a segment of Kashmiri people who thought that Kashmir banega Pakistan is a near reality anytime now. And here I must say this, that people who are supporting this terrorism, maybe just 5%, 7% or 8%, maximum 10% at a time. There was the 90% of silent majority who was not supporting it, but unfortunately they were not even speaking against it because of the security threats to their lives and properties.
Yes.
That silent majority cannot be counted out. There were 90% of it who were not in favor of terrorism, but unfortunately they were not able to raise their voice. Now what happened after 5th of August 2019 is the people in Kashmir who thought that Pakistan will stand by them, Pakistan will support them, Pakistan is always there with them. And when an event as big as 5th of August 2019 happened, Pakistan did not do anything. Pakistan could not do anything. Only thing which Mr. Imran Khan, then Prime Minister, said, "Hum शुक्रवार को 11 बजे धूप में खड़े होंगे, पता नहीं 10 minutes या 15 minutes or something." That also fizzled out after some time. So if that is where the bluff was called, that is where the people of Kashmir, they realized that Pakistan cannot withstand the might of state of India. And when the tourists started coming in, the development started happening, the education started happening, the money started pouring in, that is where they realized their interest lies here. And then they became the stakeholders in peace because they started reaping the dividends of peace. So the turnaround happened because of that Pakistan's bluff being called, people realizing there is a life here, our children will get better education, better facilities, better future. And of course, the government of India, the way they rolled out the different development plans, now they cannot go back to that time.
Yes. So Dilbag Singh sir, 35 years of bloodbath and terrorism. vis-a-vis 5 years of reconstruction and revival. The pace has been fast, but lot needs to be done. I mean, as a journalist, I see that change on ground, the reluctance to speak on national television, which used to be earlier there because of the threat perception that Lieutenant General DILLON talked about. It's no more there. You saw reports. People are talking openly about it.
Yeah, I entirely agree, because earlier on, if a security force person or police person would get killed by the terrorist, no one will come out to condemn that act. Even killing of a civilian went unnoticed. There was no protest, no reaction from the public at all. Now, if any incident of this nature happens, you find a large-scale condemnations pouring in from all sections of the society. Leaders talk of it, political people talk of it, business people talk of it, general people talk of it, even the religious leaders and social leaders talk of it. That is the kind of confidence that people have got over the last 5 years. That's a big thing to be happening in Kashmir.
What do you think are the challenges now? Before we wrap up, we just have 3 minutes. Your wrapping up comments. Challenges ahead.
Challenges, I would say that J&K scenario has got two factors, internal and external. Internal factors have been largely addressed very successfully, but external factors, Pakistan still holds the tap. As you said, as you saw, Jammu region, they have pumped in more number of terrorists, especially the Pakistani terrorists. That means they are out there to cause some disturbance in Jammu region. I think we need to have a relook at our security grids and see that this kind of infiltration is not allowed. Our operations, counter-terrorist operations, need to be given a relook, a fresh look, and see that the areas which were erstwhile peaceful now need our attention to see that militancy doesn't spread to those areas. And the third thing is public at large has very, very serious stakes. They've taken the risk. They've stood by us.
Yes.
And now we need to hold their hand. Yeah. We need to build on their trust in the security forces, trust in the civil administration, and trust in our intentions.
There has been this hand-holding by the government of India. You worked on that public, the public which was always at the receiving end, the victims of terror. Lieutenant General DILLON, your thoughts just to wrap up, challenges ahead? Like DILBAG Singh sir said that the fate of the region has changed post-abrogation of Article 370. Just 5 years, but lot needs to be done.
Absolutely, ma'am. I agree with Mr. DILBAG Singh entirely. And, this is the advantage when you call people who have worked on ground to your studios. They would give you the pulse of the ground. They would not talk in the air. This is what Mr. DILBAG Singh is saying. We have to now stand by the people who stood by us. Yeah. Now, coming to the point that how to go forward from here, what are the challenges? First and foremost thing is we should not lose out on the gains which we have made so far. Consolidation of those gains, what happened in Jammu region or Doda Udhampur region is where we had made that area peaceful and somehow we lost the sight, and that is where the Pakistan could activate that area again. Second is the hard operations against the terrorists must continue. And those hard operations may be just about 8 to 10% of your total efforts. At no time your intelligence grid, your counter-terrorist grid should be wound up or should be told, okay, abhi zyada kaam nahi, baki bacha.
All right.
They must remain in touch with their operations. We must keep the powder dry. However, 80 to 90% of our effort must be on the soft power. Infrastructure development, education development, job creation, money generation, tourism industry, agro industry. And as regards Pakistan,
yes,
I'll just make 30 seconds point.
Okay.
As regards Pakistan, we need to tackle Pakistan on multi-fronts. We need to tackle him militarily, politically, diplomatically, economically, wherever we can squeeze Pakistan, we must do it. And today Pakistan is in doldrums, and as they say, when the patient is improving, repeat the dose. We need to repeat the dose in Pakistan.
That part, their backyard is in doldrums, but our Kashmir is vibing and thriving, where downtown and places like that are no more a no-go zone. I think that's the big story, right? Thank you very much, Lieutenant General DILLON. Such a pleasure, sir, talking to you, former DG Military Intelligence Agency. Namaste and Jai Hind. And thank you very much, DILBAG Singh, sir, former DGP Jammu Kashmir. Thanks, both of you, gentlemen. And with that, we need to wrap up this special broadcast, Article 370 abrogation from terror to transformation. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.